find the balance between what the fiscal and what the monetary does. Clearly, markets are still in a difficult place, and not only in the UK. I mean, we see pressure points a bit everywhere. Clearly, as well, the Bank of England seems to be willing to play the hard game here and to maintain the pressure. Right? It did stop its interventions in the gilt market last week, as it said it would, and now we have stories around whether or not they will do QT. So definitely here the right balance to be struck. Sorry, but I guess it's too soon to call either, right? In the sense that we see on a daily basis how markets are evolving. The MPC, so the Monetary Policy Committee of the bank, will also have to discuss with the FPC, which is the Financial Policy Committee in charge of financial stability, whether at any given point in time in the future, it is in a position to actually deliver this quantitative tightening, i.e. the rundown of its balance sheet and selling gilts back into the market, right?
Yes.
So here, a lot of loose ends, obviously, and a lot of things to cover in the coming weeks.
Absolutely. Well, let's get to the what was discussed yesterday. I mean, obviously, Jeremy Hunt has filled in roughly half of the black hole that he needs to fill in. How do you see him making up the difference? Is it going to be through tax increases or spending cuts, do you feel?
So there's definitely a balance to be struck. And I think given the sensitivity of this, given the amounts, I mean, it's roughly, call it 30 or 40 billion that the Chancellor needs to find. It would definitely make sense to have a balanced approach to this. So we all of us sense that he will not be able to deliver that on spending cuts alone. And equally, all of us sense that he won't be able to deliver this on new taxes as well, right? So we know that, for instance, windfall tax might be a way forward to bring in some new revenues. On the other hand side, there might be a case to not index all the benefits on inflation, but rather on wages, right? That would, by the way, avoid to distort, the benefit structure too much as well. So there are a lot of ideas out there. I think what we have to consider as well is the Chancellor right now has to come up with a very tough narrative, a narrative where he needs to be seen as doing everything what's possible, everything what needs to be done. Whether everything will end up in the budget at the end of the month remains to be seen. There is a medium-term target here. There is a short-term emergency on gas. So definitely the markets will be very mindful of the articulation of this short-term support that the economy needs for this winter in relation to the gas crisis, and then the medium-term certainty or credibility. And let me just echo some of the words of spoken by Alex, the previous speaker. Businesses need clarity. They need to know where this is going, and that's what the Chancellor needs to deliver on the 31st.
Absolutely. I mean, all other things being equal, the measures announced yesterday are going to suck demand out of the economy, probably likely the other measures we're going to hear. What will that do for UK GDP?
So, listen, all else equal, a less stimulating fiscal stance is less supportive of growth and less supportive of inflation. And let me make that point very clear, because we sense that in the current circumstances, with a very tight labor market, with broken supply chains and inflation running double digits, there was a case to think that even the smallest support to growth might have disproportionate impact on inflation. And if that's the case, it would have been offset by monetary policy. There's a case here to think that those policies, if they end up being too inflationary, would be offset either way by the Bank of England. So here we are charting a different course, a course where support appears to be more targeted. Probably you get more out of it because multipliers of those kind of fiscal spending are usually higher. And at the same time, you're able to control the inflationary impact of it. So you're likely minimizing the amount of monetary reaction that would trigger. So, narrowly, to answer your question narrowly, yes, this is a budget that's obviously less supportive. We're switching back from being a loose fiscal stance to something much more neutral. But equally, it's not something that will call for a big monetary policy reaction, we think. And, hashtag mortgage rates, for instance, we should be in a situation where the credit tightening is a bit less intense than what we have seen in recent weeks.
Indeed so, and this is your key forecast. I mean, the market is pricing in a full percentage point increase from the Bank of England next month. You're only going for 0.75 of a point.
Yes, listen, we think there is a case for the bank to be to deliver a more significant response, and I quote their statements. But there are limits of how much it can deliver, and those limits we think are at 75 basis points. Just to make that point clearer on mortgages, the UK stands out as being more sensitive to interest rate volatility because they are passed through quicker to mortgage rates. We have an initial fixing period that's 2 or 5 years. It's 3 years on average. That means that within 3 years, you pass on the entire increase in higher interest rates to everybody, to everybody holding a mortgage. And that is radically different than what you see in Europe or what you see in the US. So you can't decently ask for the Bank of England to do more than the Fed, for instance, or more than the ECB, while expecting the economy to be all right. So that's why the balance we think is at 75, but to extend that, the balance is also not more than 50 in December, and probably not anything more next year, right? I mean, when you think at everything that has been done, when you think at the indicators that are suggesting a broad-based weakening of the economy, there is a case to think that the actual monetary tightening will be more limited than what the market thinks it is.
All right, Fabrice, we haven't had you on the programme for a while. It's nice to see you again. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much for the invite.
Some other business news stories for you now. And one of the biggest independent exploration and production companies in the North Sea confirmed this morning that it's planning a flotation on the London Stock Exchange. Ithaca Energy said it would be looking to raise money both to pay down debt, but it's also said that a flotation would provide it with access to a wider range of capital raising options that may be of use in future. Well, Ithaca, which is currently owned by the Israeli company Delek, has stakes in 6 of the top 10 largest fields in the UK continental shelf, and it also owns a 70% stake in Cambo, one of the largest undeveloped discoveries in the region, which was recently listed by the UK government as a priority infrastructure investment to be fast-tracked. Bellway has blamed the backdrop of rising interest rates and wider economic uncertainty after warning this morning that it expects house building volumes this year to be no better than the financial year just ended. Well, the UK's 5th largest house builder said it expected its average selling price this year to be £300,000, down from just over £314,000 in the year just ended, reflecting a higher proportion of social housing completions. Well, pre-tax profits in the year to the end of July fell by 36.5% to £304.2 million, and that reflected the cost of remedying legacy cladding issues. And the stockbroker FinCap confirmed this morning that it had received a takeover approach from rival Panmure Gordon. Confirming a story broken last night by Sky's Mark Kleinman, FinCap said discussions between it and Panmure Gordon were still at an early stage and there could be no certainty that an offer would be made for the company. Well, FinCap is well known for having until recently one of the few female chief executives in the broking sector. Sam Smith, you might recall seeing her on the programme, while Panmure, of course, is majority owned by Atlas Merchant Capital, the banking vehicle owned by Bob Diamond, the former Barclays chief executive. Now, when green alternatives to natural gas in homes are discussed, the most frequently mentioned is heat pumps. But these are expensive and often too big to fit in many homes. It's why some of the UK's biggest gas networks, boiler manufacturers and energy suppliers are teaming up to promote the virtues, as they see it, of hydrogen with a new campaign. Well, joining me now is Dr. Angela Needle. She's head of strategy at Cadent, one of the UK's largest gas network operators. Angie, welcome to you. Nice to see you again. So what's wrong with heat pumps?
There's absolutely nothing wrong with heat pumps. We need plenty of those to get to net zero. What we do know is we need a lot of different alternatives. Homes and people who live in them need different things, different shapes and sizes and different demands. And so we think that hydrogen is a really good solution to those homes where heat pumps can't perhaps fit. And we wanted to share our Hello Hydrogen campaign with consumers today to really start educating customers about the future and how hydrogen can play a role in heating homes.
What would be the cost to a homeowner of heating their home with hydrogen compared with a heat pump?
So the cost of hydrogen is still to be worked through, and that's because we don't really make much in the country today. And the good news is that we expect the government to support it in the same way that we've supported renewable wind, so early subsidies to get production going. And don't forget, we can make hydrogen in the UK, which is fantastic. Bringing the necessary jobs. And the other great thing is that boiler manufacturers in the UK who are supporting this campaign, who've probably got the boiler in your home, Worcester Bosch, Baxi, Valent and Ideal, have all developed hydrogen-ready appliances that can burn 100% hydrogen, and they've provided a commitment that they will cost the same as current gas boilers.
As you say, we don't really have sufficient hydrogen production in this country right now. By when would you anticipate that changing?
The government has set out a strategy to make hydrogen 10 gigawatts of production by 2030. That isn't anywhere near enough that we need for all the sources, all the uses of hydrogen that we're going to need in this country. But the key thing is it's a step towards that energy resilience. So don't forget, we're going to have loads amount of wind power. We need the electricity generation, but we also need a gas that is a store for energy. And so the government is supporting hydrogen production, and that's going to start from 2025 onwards, and it will steadily grow. And as it grows, hydrogen will become affordable for consumers to use in their homes.
And how quickly can hydrogen blending into gas networks like yours happen?
Governments make a decision on blending hydrogen into gas networks next year. And it's really going to help the makers of hydrogen make sure that there's somewhere to put their hydrogen. But the key thing here really, and the purpose of the Hello Hydrogen campaign, is it's not just about gas networks, it's about giving customers a choice. So they can look at how they want to heat their home in the future. They'll have options for electricity heat pumps, of course, but also hydrogen too. And the purpose of the Hello Hydrogen campaign is just to start providing information to customers about hydrogen, because this is still some time away, and we know as a sector that we need to educate early, and we need to really plan ahead, as we've seen from current gas prices. The resilience issue that we've got today is about not planning ahead far enough.
Now, Lord Callanan, the junior business minister, he's someone we have on this programme recently often. He says that displacing gas with hydrogen from home heating is pretty much impossible. What do you know that he doesn't?
Yeah, well, it's not impossible. We've got hydrogen show homes that people can come and look at. We've done the work on the gas networks, so we know that can transport hydrogen. We know that the boilers can use hydrogen. So I think Lord Callahan's view, by the way, is 100% replacement of natural gas with hydrogen. That is not what we're looking at. What we're looking at in the future is a mixed system that gives customers choice. Some will have heat pumps, some will have hydrogen. It's not one thing or another, but the gas networks and the boiler manufacturers and the suppliers of energy are looking at hydrogen because we want to make sure that everybody has got access to a warm home in the future.
All right, Angie, we've got to leave it there. Nice to see you this morning. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Still to come here on Ian King Live, we'll have a look at how markets are doing this Tuesday morning. It's a bit more peaceful than it has been in recent days. More after this short break. Don't go away.
Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food, Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Very peaceful morning so far in the market for gilts. UK government bonds yields, which are implied government borrowing costs, fell sharply yesterday and they're little changed so far this morning. On the foreign exchange markets, the pound gave back some of yesterday's gains earlier on. It's currently down by around 0.2% against the US dollar and by a similar amount against the euro. On the equity markets, following very strong gains on Wall Street last night, equity markets in the Asia-Pacific region saw largely positive trading overnight. Shanghai in the top right-hand corner of the screen there, more or less unchanged actually, to be fair. There were gains in Hong Kong, Tokyo, Sydney and in Mumbai. Well, here in Europe, stocks have traded largely to the upside this morning. Here's the current picture. All of the main indices in positive territory. The MIB in Milan grabbing the yellow leader vest this morning, up nearly 1.5% higher. Talking points in Europe today include Publicis. The French advertising giant is up 2% in Paris after raising its earnings guidance. Well, here in London, the FTSE 100 is also in positive territory, currently nearly 41 points to the good, up just over 0.5%. It hit its best level for a week. It's a broad-based rally led largely by the financial sector right now. The biggest percentage gainer, though, in the FTSE this morning is the packaging group Smurfit Kappa, which has been favoured by one or two of the brokers in recent sessions. The shares currently ahead by some 5%, while WPP, the advertising group, it's ahead by nearly 3.75% on the back of that statement from Publicis. There are not too many fallers to mention in the FTSE, but almost all of the house builders are lower on that statement from Bellway. Barratt Developments off by 1.3% there. Persimmon also down by a similar amount. What's going on outside the FTSE this morning? The gaming group 888 Holdings, they're the owner of William Hill. The shares are off at the moment by 3.5% following a trading statement. MoneySupermarket.com, though, they're up by 7.25%. That's on news that forthcoming results are going to be at the top end of expectations. And at the bottom of the screen there you can see Ibstock, the brick maker. The share's up 4.5% there on a trading update. As for the oil price, well, that's trading in a narrow range today after 2 days of losses. It looks like it's heading for a third right now. A barrel of Brent crude will set you back currently $91.18 a barrel. That's off a little under 0.5%. Well, joining me now is the investment director at Fidelity International, Tom Stevenson. Tom, welcome to you. Big drop in gilt yields yesterday, more or less unchanged right now. Do you think that's it for now in terms of these big gyrations that we've seen in gilt prices? I guess it's all eyes on 31st of October next, is it?
Yes, I mean, I think there was a collective sigh of relief yesterday, wasn't there? I mean, shares, gilts, the pound all rallied. As you say, the 30-year gilt yield is pretty stable this morning. I think all eyes are on the 31st of October. I think all eyes are also on what's happening with the pension funds and the extent to which they are being forced to continue to sell gilt. So I don't think we're out of the woods yet. And also it's worth remembering, Ian, that a month ago the 30-year gilt yield stood at 3.75%. So we're effectively looking at a 60 or 70 basis point risk premium for all UK assets now. And I think the other thing to bear in mind following yesterday's announcements is that I think that the credibility has been battered by what's happened over the last 3 weeks. And that means that fiscal policy is probably going to have to be tighter than it would otherwise have been. So, yes, we may look like we're where we were a month ago. We've gone full circle. But I think for both of those reasons, the risk premium and the tighter fiscal policy, we're actually in a considerably worse position than we were a month ago.
Yeah, it really does underline the challenge facing Jeremy Hunt, doesn't it? Now, meanwhile, we get the inflation number tomorrow for September. What are you expecting?
Well, the expectation is that we're going to see inflation just about in double digits, probably 10%. It was 9.9% in the year to August. And I think, crucially, the core inflation figure is also likely to rise a little bit from 6.3% to 6.4%. Now, this is an important month for the inflation figure, as we know, because the September figure is what's used to determine the pension and the benefits uprating for the year ahead. And as we know, there's a lot of speculation about the future of the triple lock guarantee. And so, that's a factor, but also just the very high level of inflation tomorrow is another factor.
It really is, isn't it? I mean, over on Wall Street last night, fantastic session, really, driven largely by Bank of America's results, it seems. Were there other factors at play as well there, do you think?
Well, I think that was the main reason. They were better than expected results, and what they demonstrated was a degree of consumer resilience. So that side of Bank of America's business really offset a decline in the investment banking side. So that's positive because really all eyes are on earnings season at the moment. We're 9 months into a bear market in the US, and it's largely been driven by a reduction in valuation multiples. What hasn't happened yet is a reduction in earnings. And so that's why there's such a focus on this earnings season, and why when we get a good result like we had from Bank of America last night, that can really be a positive for the market, as it was.
All right, Tom, we've got to leave it there. Good to see you as ever. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Ian.
Still to come here on Ian King Live, how raising alcohol duty could impact whiskey production and the wider industry. Stay with us.
People all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Turn it on. Turn it up.
Show them you got the Coco set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And I sabi you know, just have fun and stay blessed.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie, and it's Starr Radio UK and the morning show.
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio.
In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
Welcome.
Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Love for you runs deep. All of you makes my heart beat. You make a doubt they fade. Jesus,
This is Starr Radio UK. In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
hold the world in your hands. The hand that made me who I am. Same for now.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. I want to welcome you all to the Tuesday edition of the morning show. Today is the 18th day of October, the year 2022, and the time now 10:38 from the heart of London. And let me say, welcome on board. Well, if you don't know, now you know I am.
This is the morning show with Archie.
So from now till 1 o'clock, when the curtains are brought down for the end of the program, I'm going to be your captain. I'm going to see to all the affairs of the program today. But thank you for joining in on the program. Those of you on the Facebook or Twitter or the Periscope or the YouTube channel, I salute each and every one of you. And once again, I say welcome to the program. But let's say good morning to my team this morning. Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, Felix all the way in Aberdeen, and my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy. Massive good morning to you. A special good morning also goes to Kojo D. Kojo, I hope you are doing very, very well, and the family as well. Thank you very, very much.
All of you makes my heart.
A special good greetings to Amayo, all the way in Nigeria, and then to the one and only Moyua. Good morning to you.
All of you makes.
And to Aziz in the US, Anthony Adedaji, good morning to you all. To the one and only Miss Gold, massive good morning to you.
And that's what makes you.
To my bishop himself, massive good morning. And to all the team and the wonderful listeners, I salute each and every one of you. Welcome on board the flight today.
And that made me who I am.
Okay, so if it's the first time of tuning in to listen to us, this is how the program goes. I'm going to bring you the code for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel updates. We move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, known as Global Trotting. Then after that, at 11 o'clock, we bring you updates from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi Koiki, bringing you all the details of the stories making the rounds there. Then we'll continue from there as well. Exactly at 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to join in the conversation. And then we'll look further to other stories making the rounds across the globe. As I say, from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar, it's making headlines. Why not? We're going to touch on it. So once again, welcome to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Playing in the background, Great Are You Lord by Edith Morrison.
Love for you runs deep.
Great Are You Lord. Alright then, the quote for the day says, your results in life reveal your input. So your input determines your output. So what are you inputting today? Is it gibberish? Is it not worth it? Or put your best foot forward and put the right things in there, and I can tell you that just a matter of time. As we say, cast your bread upon the waters, and thou shalt find it after many days. Alright then, let's crack on. And when it comes to the weather front, this is what the weather has got is stuck for you, especially those of you in London and the southeast of England. And it says today will be dry, fine and settled with plenty of autumnal sunshine. There will be a little in the way of cloud around with just the odd patch likely. Tonight will start with prolonged clear spells, but some variable cloud will build in places through the early hours. It should stay dry with just a chance of the odd shower around dawn. Temperature is going to be 19 degrees, the lowest is going to be 12 degrees. UV level is going to be low pollution, low sunset 1802, and sunrise for tomorrow morning 0729 hours.
Holy, holy.
Okay, let's take a quick commercial break, and once we come back, we continue with the updates from the travel. So stay tuned, don't you go away.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads. The travel update comes your way at 10:40 every day on Starr Radio UK. So what's happening on your travel? Those of you here in the UK especially, but if you are listening to us across the globe, wherever you might be, you want to share with us what is happening on your travels for free, because I tell you that we have a worldwide listenership or viewership, and they will benefit from that. So keep your eyes on the roads. Now on the underground this morning here in London, well, apart from the Jubilee line that is got a few incidents, what I'm going to bring you details of that. All the others have got good service there. Now on the Jubilee line, severe delays between Finchley Road and Starmore as they fix a faulty train, and then there are minor delays there as well. So there's past suspension there as well. So it's a whole lot of things there. So check out if you have to travel on the Jubilee line. The London Tramlink and London Overground has got good service there as well. But keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads, and we'll keep you navigated. I promise, our bond. And moving on to the major roads in London. Now A4 has got closure, Central London, Red Route, and South Circular 02, A205, A13 have all got closures there. My apologies. Now A13, yes, has got severe delays. My apologies there. Now and then A23 and A3 Blackwall Tunnel, North Circular A406 have got serious delays. Check before you leave. Now on the river bars this morning, apart from the Woolwich Ferry that's still got special service, all the others have got good service. Now keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads as we keep you navigated. I promise, our bond. Moving on to the London Cable Car, good service there. 10:46 the time. Let's move on straight to the final updates. That is the National Rail. So on the National Rail this morning, yes, East Midlands Railway has got some delays due to industrial action there. There's industrial action, so there are no trains there. Now Great Anglia has got disruption between Whitford and Southminster, so check before you travel on that. Northern Rail, minor delays. Scott Rail, minor delays. Southwestern Railway, minor delays. Southeastern, minor delays. Thames Link has also got minor delays. First Transparent Express has got amended timetable, and therefore it's affecting the schedules, so please check before you embark on your journey. That aside, Transport for Wales and West Midlands Railway have all got good service there. So on that note, as I do say all the time, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your comments for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Welcome back to the program, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to exactly 10 minutes to the top of the hour. That means it is time for the global trotting. But what are we going to be looking at when it comes to Nigeria? Nigeria's inflation surges higher at 20.77%, an increase of 4.14%. And then ex-governor Fayemi deceived Nigerians, inaugurated uncompleted Ekiti Cargo Airport without air control system amid fanfare. Well. Maybe they were going to install it the following day, so there's been a bit of delays there. But well, the terrorists attacked Niger State General Hospital, slaughter worker, abducted medical doctor, and 10 others. Lot more going to be coming your way. How my question Peter Obi about ongoing agitation in Southeast region and other issues. Sheikh Gumi reacts there. And then an Abuja-based policy think tank, Agora Policy, has said Nigeria's debt is unsustainable and puts the country in a perennial situation due to the high cost of debt servicing. Lots more going to be coming your way from there once I have Mr. Olayomi Koiki coming in with the updates in the next call it 9 minutes. But now let's move on to other parts of the world and let's look at the stories making the rounds there. Now when it comes to the UK, Truss meets cabinet as she battles to regain authority. The Prime Minister will attempt a fresh start as a new Chancellor warns difficult decisions on spending will need to be made. Well, what do you think? Some people are calling for Boris Johnson to be brought back, but do you think that will actually wash? Some will say no. I mean, Boris decided to sack him, and he's gone. Why should he come again? Well, Russian strike prompt power cuts across Ukraine. The capital Kyiv and other cities are targeted a day after unmanned drones killed 8 people. Now, when would all this end? Well, yesterday I had a story as well. Russian warplane crash kills 13 in apartment block. The death toll has risen after the jet plunged into a residential area in the Russian town of Yesk. More will be coming your way. And Paris shocked by murder of girl 12 found in a box. The schoolgirl's body was found in a container in the courtyard of her apartment building. That's a strong one there. Now, Greta Thunberg, I don't want to go into politics. Well, if she goes into politics, what is she going to be championing? Environmental? Well. Bridgeman inspires Z protests around the world. Well, you remember the Bridgeman, the one who went to dangle what do you call it? a banner on one of the bridges in China. Okay, now moving on to some other stories making the rounds there. Kenya's grapple with historical low shilling and soaring US dollars, and it's not only peculiar to Kenya. In Ghana, they say their money, the Ghanaian currency, the cedi, is worth virtually zilch. Oh wow. Algeria is turning to its mineral resources to diversify its economy. How would they do that? A lot more going to be coming your way from that front, so make sure your dials are so logged on. Former President Gbagbo calls on Mali junta leader over fate of detained Ivorian soldiers. Maybe they will be able to release them as well. Now, threats to vote against MPP in 2024 don't frighten me, says the president. He says it doesn't frighten him. After all, your tenure of office is over. By 2024, you're not standing again. So, win or lose, you served your term. So, what more? Well, he's saying that it doesn't threaten him. Is it that he thinks that people might say that, well, they will hold him culpable for some of the ills that were done when it comes to the economy and other issues? Now, Faracha made Ghana's economy fastest growing in the world. The Kufuor is saying, he said, because of that, I'm not going to be sacking him. What do you think? A lot more going to be coming your way. Okay. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Wow. Still moving on to some of the other stories making the rounds in Ghana. Well, Captain Smart has been dragged to the NMC for accusing the Kufuor of galamsey. Well, I think he went a bit over the top. But well, we'll be bringing you more on that. As well. Corruption fight, ongoing prosecution vindicates my government or me. Well, what do you think? But the Kufuor inaugurates residential complex for appeal court judges. Someone did make posted a comment that, well, until one day somebody also decided that they're going to build a cathedral in Kumasi, that particular part, and they decided to break it all down and then build a cathedral there for the people of Ashanti region. What do you think? Well, a lot more going to be coming your way from there. It is all Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let me bring you this music from Theodora Gospel, and it says everlasting to everlasting. Enjoy this and I'll be with you.
Great I am.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Oh yes, I'm lovely tune to soothe you this morning, to prepare you for the day, of course. But Starr Radio UK, we are here to bring you all that you need to know when it comes to information. Or come to the news, from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar, as I say all the time. It's making the headlines. Why not? We're going to touch on that. So let me take you to Pastor Theodora Boachi answer with our lovely tune, Everlasting to Everlasting, Starr Radio UK. We're going to take a quick break, and once we come back, we'll be bringing you Mr. Olayomi Koiki. So stay tuned, don't touch the dial. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now this afternoon exactly at 1:30, we're bringing you BB Clement on BB Means Business. Now you want to know more when it comes to your business and everything to hold your hand to make sure that your business, the ideas and the pointers to make sure that you are actually an achiever or you see success. Yes. Make sure your dial star logged on Starr Radio UK is at 1:30 when BB Clement comes your way with BB Means Business. But for now, let's take a quick break and I'll be with you. Stay tuned.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. or you can visit our website www.worldlamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@worldlamp@gmail.com. World Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
This is Starr Radio UK.
That of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world in adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Okay, welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now exactement to 8 minutes past the top of the hour, the Tuesday edition of the morning show. And I've got in the house the one and only, the White Lion, still reigning and roaring like no man's business, Mr. Olayomi Koike in the house. And I'm saying, Yomi, massive good morning to you.
Well, a very good morning. I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Loud and clear. How are you?
Very good. A very good morning to you back in the studio, Mr. Archie. Good morning to all our listeners around the world, and good morning to Frank. Good morning to all our presenters. I'm doing very well. It is the Tuesday, 6 minutes past the hour, at exactly 11 o'clock, 18th of October, and this is how we roll on Starr Radio UK with all the latest news from Nigeria.
Okay, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koike for you in our North London studios. I'm actually here with Mr. Frank Davis in the South studios as well, and we are going to be bringing you all that you need to know when it comes to the stories that is making the rounds in the world this time around, looking at what is happening in Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi. So let's crack on. Now, first of all, we're talking about inflation. Now, somebody will be saying that, look, when it comes to inflationary issues that is going on across the globe, I mean, everybody knows that, first of all, we went into COVID for 2 years, and it's impacted our economies. And then, I mean, the damage that has been caused. And now we have the Ukraine and the Russia-Ukraine war that seems to be going on. Well, I won't say Russia-Ukraine. Let me say Ukraine war that is going on because there's only one aggressor, right? Okay. And that is going on at the moment. And therefore, we have various Western leaders making the allegation that, look, everything that is going on is because of these factors. But for the Nigerian inflation rate to get to 20.77% seem to be quite eye-watering for investors and the general public of Nigeria. What do you think about that?
When we look at the the current situation with inflation in Nigeria, it is really mind-blowing, and the reason for that is Nigeria has not invested so much when we had the oil boom. I mean, let's take us back to in the 80s, when the barrel of crude oil was really doing very well. Rather money was being starched by the military dictator of those era in the 80s, when the current president Buhari was the dictator in the 80s. I mean, he was actually overthrown by Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. Babangida is now the one, where he's taking the shot. People have to go to him, to take his blessing that they want to be the president of Nigeria. Babangida had the opportunity with the amount of money that was coming into Nigeria during the oil boom, but rather most of the money was not spent on infrastructure. So that literally means that Nigerians, for the last 40 years have not had a good road production, things that would have been able to help us during this, process of what we are now facing. I mean, I've been following, the ongoing protests in Paris, and you could tell that, more anger is on the street right there. So the reason why the one in Nigeria, as we can tell you this morning, looking at the inflation, 20.77%. I was actually listening to a voice note from a baker, that does bread in southwest of Nigeria today in Ogun State, and he was telling me that about some years back he would have done a lot of production, but this time around the amount of effort that is putting into making that bread that nobody is buying because it's quite expensive literally means that production has reduced 20.77%. Let's look at the breakdown, according to what we have. In last month, 20.77% as the food supply exchange crisis, foreign exchange crisis, and the increase in imports. We are literally importing almost every need of Nigerians, into the country. So we're not producing anything as we speak. And this is coming from the National Bureau of Statistics. In August, the inflation rose to 17 high of 20.52% compared to what we now saw, which is 20.77%. And if I go back a little bit, the statistics body disclosed Consumer Price Index report, which was released yesterday, Monday, listed the likely factors for the increase in the inflation year on year as disruption in supply of food product, increase in import costs due to the persistent currency depreciation, and the general increase in cost of production. Just as I said, an average person producing bread in the southwest could not be able to do so due to the fact that there is not much in terms of assistance from the government. So in a nutshell, to come back to you, when I look at Nigeria as of today, let's take a look at the inflation rate as it has actually break down. Let me take you to Kogi State, 23.82%. Kogi is currently under the water because the flood happening there is having a big impact. River State is about 23.49%, while while Abuja, the lowest, is about 17.87%. Adamawa is about 18.42%. So again, more Nigerians will continue to be in that abject poverty bracket. Star Radio UK, I'll come back again now to you in the studio, Mr. Archie, for more discussion.
Well, listeners, it's quite an interesting one. I've got Mr. Frank Davis here as well. I'll be going to him. But Moses Olaniran says, hey, he said, what? Lots of emojis there, and Archie and Olayomi, your brother Semo, good morning once again. Now, what you want, any guys say is good morning, Archie and Koike, and my fellow listeners. Hope we are all fine. Yes, we are fine. Nigeria has never happened to us, and we pray that it never happens to us. Okay, now, Frank, good morning to you. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Now let's talk about. I'm looking at the inflation figures of Nigeria. We'll be talking about 20%, 21%. Let's call it. And I just compared it to what is happening in Ghana. Yeah. Ghana's is about 34%, 37%. Yeah. Okay, so you look at that and you say that maybe Nigeria is doing better than Ghana.
Right. Actually, you see, the measure of inflation can also differ. It might depend, to a large extent, depends on the basket that the statisticians in that economy choose to add to that inflationary budget. The other thing that the inflation figures might look one better, but again it depends on where the population is. For instance, if food prices in Lagos are going to be added and food prices in probably Zamfara state are added, and probably let's say rice, imported rice, local rice, and people in the area or in Zamfara area rely on local rice. Yes, inflation figures might be low, but those in Lagos might be feeling the pinch more than those in Zamfara. So yes, inflation figures do not tell us everything about what is happening within an economy. For instance, if you take Agbeleka Klo that a lot of Ghanaians will know, it's like a cassava they say. It's gone from 20p to 50p. If you don't eat that, you're not going to are you getting me? So inflation figures might be headline news, but what goes on behind the scene is the most important thing. But actually, the bottom line in all these figures to me is, in that basket, what can we take out and actually import or reduce the cost of it in Nigeria? And that is where for us, I mean, the focus ought to have been over these years, because whatever we're doing, you take petrol prices, when fuel prices goes up, it affects everything. The chain is kind of a chain rising. You drop a pinball from the top, and it's actually basically disturbing everything right down to the the bottom of it, and that's it. Until we begin to change the structure of our economies, we're not going to find any relief. I do not accept this foolish and stupid explanation that we always attribute to Ukraine this in war. We are not, an island, so a little bit of influence might affect us here and there. But why are some other countries not complaining so much about Iran-Iraq war? What have those companies done so well? Or what are those economies? What are they doing strategically to ensure that, look, their wheat is not only coming from Ukraine, but it's also been coming from Zamfara state. Probably their rice is not only coming from Thailand or Vietnam, but it's also been Kwara state is producing it. Those are the things that we need to be focusing on. So this politician convenience excuse that once a bullet drops in Ukraine, it drops in our pocket. It's all bullshit. To be honest with you, excuse my language, but it doesn't make sense. It really does not make sense.
Interesting. Pero, good morning. He said, good morning, people. And Tom's AJ says, good morning, Archie and White Lion. Now, let me come back to you, Yomi. Now, we are looking at the prices of Nigeria is a crude oil producing. I mean, if we want to talk about crude oil, when it comes to Africa, I think Nigeria is the one. Angola. Okay. So, if we are talking about the price of fuel going up and therefore impacting in this part of the world, talking about energy prices and stuff like that, then Nigeria shouldn't have a problem because they produce that. But as we know, the past few weeks we've seen vessels siphoning.
But on that crude prices, this is the false narrative that our people got involved in the first place. The crude that is being produced in Nigeria, who owns the crude? Who is producing the crude?
Okay.
So they tell you we are producing the crude into an international market. And therefore, even if you're a consumer within that
geographical area,
so let's take a practical example. Peanut probably is produced. Let's say we're producing. Olame, give me a name of a typical village in Nigeria.
A typical
village, any village.
I'll try and give you mine. I'll give you Jabode.
Okay, let's say village Nabode. Jabode. Okay, let's take that corn is produced in Jabode.
Yeah.
And we are saying that for the people in Jabode, corn is an internationally recognized. So if you want to cook eba, if you want to cook banku, if you want to do something, because corn is so good, people use it. The price must be, Nigeria wide price.
Yeah.
And therefore, we're hedging it, or basically we're matching it to the prices at what they call it, Lagos. So if corn is produced in Kwara State, whatever it is, taking Nigeria as a global market, right? It must be sold at the price set at Lagos. It means that from the farmstead, the person who even see the corn being harvested, who is the Nigerian person over here, or a Ghanaian, cannot get the corn to buy at that price. Sometimes they even have to take the corn to Lagos and then turn it to flour and bring it back to the person who saw the farm when they were tilling the land, when they were harvesting it, when they were bagging it. That is a false economy that we put ourselves in. So when we started producing our oil, so international, let's make international this, we do not own, apart from the what they call it, the bunkering that go on the stealing and other things, we have shares, but we're not producing it.
Okay.
We know that Shell, Chevron and other, they are controlling it. They only give us shares. You take Ghana's situation, do we have a rig we can call our own?
No.
How many rigs have Nigeria got?
Let me ask Yomi. Does Nigeria own any of the oil rigs there?
Well, the oil rigs are kind of being kept in the hands of individuals. So that means we have individuals that are controlling the oil rig rather than the government officially, as it's done in other countries around the world. And I've been listening to Frank quietly right there. Let me give us the latest statistics from the Global Hunger Index that just came out for 2022. Nigeria ranked number 103 out of the 121 countries according to the Global Hunger Index today. And very, very sad statistics coming out of Nigeria. 27.3% percent Nigeria has a level of hunger, and likewise 12.7% of the population in Nigeria is undernourished. 6.5% of children under 5 are wasted, 31.5% of children under 5 are stunned, and 11.4% of children will die before their 5th birthday.
Wow.
And that's a future generation.
Wow. It is sad. It is sad. It is sad because we have countries like that, and they'll come and tell you, "Oh, we have fuel shortage." And I ask myself,
it's because of the way it's structured. Actually, it's because of the way it has been structured. It's because of the way it has been structured. We do not. We aim from it. We do not own it. We cannot take decisions that affects it. In my view, what we need to do, we need to break away. It's okay. The oil rigs that are there now, leave them. But we need to develop domestic capacity. We say, okay, this has not been helping us for all this while. We're going to put 2 rigs in place with a refinery built in Nigeria, dedicatedly producing for Nigeria.
Okay.
Are you getting me? These rigs are for Nigeria production. Ijala will say, okay, this plot of land, we are farming parboiled rice to be taken to the international market. This refining what they call it, wild rice for people in this. We're gonna start thinking that way.
Well, listeners, Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 11:23. Mr. Frank Davis with me here in the studio in our North London studios. We have Mr. Olayomi Koiki, and we are bringing you updates from Nigeria. But what else the various leaders, what the political leaders commented? What have been their statement pertaining to this economy and the statistics and everything that seems to be going on?
Well, Peter Obi has been, speaking in terms of, the economy and the impact it's having on Nigerians. Atiku believes that, the PDP can come back and rectify the damage that the APC have done. But Bola Tinubu is saying that, we must not give room to any of these two, and he should be allowed to continue what, his current government, Buhari, have done in terms of the economy. So, and Shure has continued to say that the only option is we give him opportunity, while those that are agitating are saying that Nigeria is just too big to take care of ourselves, and it is time now that we allow it to shred itself, so that the dividends of government, the hunger, and we will not continue to be used as statistics around the world. So you can see that there's different views from different and all the social political groups as well are saying the same thing as well. So one thing we can say is that there is hunger in the land, and that hunger is literally having a big impact to so many Nigerians, whether in the northeast, in the southwest, in the south. A lot of Nigerians are going through a lot of difficulties.
Difficult times for Africans, especially. Well, listen to Star Radio UK. A few of the comments. Believe Yourself channel says, good morning, sir, Mr. Archie. Oh, I've been knighted now. Mr. Oko. Okay. He said Nigeria. Koiki, Baba, and other brothers. So all of us here. He says, kudos for the good work that you are doing. He said, God bless you and all, and me too. Yeah, may God bless you too. Yoruba Nation must stand, no going back. Good. Lizada, good morning to you. And anything for freedom. Wow. Hashtag Yoruba Nation first. Well done, Koiki. Good morning. Let your comments come through, and as I say all the time, I promise to read them out. Anthony Adedeji, thumbs up to you, and good morning. I hope you are doing very, very well. Now, in a country where we talk about scarce resources, and then we know people, our leaders, like the fanfare, oh, we've built that one up, oh, we've done that one, we are cutting sword, and then they go on and on and on. But this is an interesting one. Ex-Governor Fayemi deceived Nigerians, inaugurated uncompleted Ekiti Cargo Airport without air control system amid fanfare. So, I mean, honestly, Yomi, tell us more about that.
Well, a lot of people were so excited, seeing the very first time that an aircraft or an air cargo was touching down, in the southwest of, Nigeria, in Ekiti State. And when I saw the video, I mean, it's very good that we saw the Nigerian government told us that we will have our aircraft taking us back home. That's about 2 years ago. Probably maybe it will be ready before the end of the year to take a lot of Nigerians back, during the festival period. The ex-governor Fayemi deceived Nigerians, inaugurated uncompleted Ekiti Cargo Airport without air control system amid fanfare. The air traffic control, which is one of the most important facilities in an airport, is also yet to be completed. How the aircraft was able to land is just something that I'm sure those that are listening around the world will be asking those questions as well. The former Ekiti State Governor Fayemi, on Saturday inaugurated an uncompleted Ekiti Cargo Airport along Ado Ija Road, Ado Ekiti, the state capital, amid fanfare. He described the airport as a dream come true for Ekiti people, well, without no safety, saying the facility will boost social economic growth and development to the state, as we've been talking earlier. Star Radio UK, I'll come back again to you in the studio at 11:27.
Frank, I mean, I know we have Ghana president. Yesterday he want to inaugurate something. They keep on inaugurating, cutting sword and cutting trees, cutting everything, inaugurating all things. I mean, but the thing is, as to whether that particular thing is actually completed, that can actually impact the lives of the people positively. We don't know, and the people too don't check those things and just go on jumping. Is it for political expediency or what?
Well, we call it a pre-completion integration. Completion.
Pre-completion. Okay.
Actually, I mean, all these people do this is for the publicity of it. Most of it's publicity stunt. Yes, we might acknowledge and say, okay, well done for thinking of the project in the first place, for actually bringing the project to us. As to why he cannot wait for everything to be completed, or whether he was not duly briefed by the technical people around him that this has not been completed yet. Are you getting me? For all you know, he as a person don't even know anything about it.
Okay.
All he wanted to do is to go inaugurate.
Yeah.
They built for political reasons.
Yeah.
He was able to take a flight, and the flight landed there. All he knows is that
the flight has landed.
His flight has landed. Airport has been built. First time, fanfare, everybody jubilate. Governor, well done. That's all.
Okay.
The others, technical people must take care of.
Okay.
But you see, Archie, we as a people must begin to look. My friend says this: any fool, any stupid person giving access to state resources can award a contract for a road to be constructed, water to be provided, hospitals should be built. So if you are a leader and you have actually built road, or you have supervised the building of road with people's tasks, you have no space to demand any credit, any applause, because any fool and a stupid person given the opportunity
can do
it.
Yeah,
there's nothing ingenious about it. But you see, we've got to a point where we link what is being done with praises, and we think that because this person, yes, I admit sometimes decision taking, and then be able to prioritize delivery of project, making sure allocations are made. That's what leadership, and that's what we are supposed to do. But we as a people turn those people into demigods, and if that brings political capital, they are politicians. That is a job, it's business. They invest. They invest their time, they invest in commissioning some of these things so that they can reap the dividends. And the dividends, election is coming. 2023 is coming. Are you getting me? 2023 is coming. So we as a people, I mean, you mentioned about Akufo-Addo. Some of the video, 65 cars.
The convoy?
Someone was saying it in the video. I didn't count. 65. Actually, are we mad?
Environmental pollution.
The governor in Southeast at 50, so we still have someone that is
governor Southeast at 50.
He's not a president, he's just a governor.
50.
Well, listeners, interesting Africa for you. Starr Radio UK. My wife says that Fela is a prophet. Can you imagine the year he had that song? Things just did bad more and more in the album Teacher No Teach Me Nonsense. Mr. Frank, good morning. We do things the same way and we keep getting the same results.
And even worse, we do it.
From here, Moji Adesonya says, "Good day to you all. It is so sad for the huge hunger in Nigeria, and yet these demonic ruling class are unconcerned. God will judge them all."
I think we have to go on a fasting and prayer spree.
That will not work. That will not work. I know we stand Christian, but that will not work. You just actually becoming like the Pentecost and the other pastors who people are destroying the land.
Fast for the Galamsey.
They went to the Galamsey site, praying, holding their Bibles, and other. I don't know why there was no heavy rain to sweep some of them away.
We will talk about that in a moment. But listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. Updates from Nigeria with Ms. Online. You can get our North London studios. With me in the South studios is Mr. Frank Davis. I'm Archie. Okay, now let's move on. Yomi too. One of the other stories making the rounds as well. Terrorists attack Niger State General Hospital. I thought that there's been a bit of a calm when it comes to all these attacks, but lo and behold, not knowing it is still going on. Give us a bit of details of that, please.
Well, not a very good news. When it comes to attack from the terrorists in Nigeria, and we have to remember that these individuals that we talk about, they are people that were still alive. These are individuals that were also have they have aspiration, but unfortunately it doesn't mean it seems that the government have lost the plot when it comes to protecting Nigerians as we speak. A sad one from Kogi State. Kogi is already experiencing a lot. Where I was just talking earlier, regarding the flood in Kogi State as we speak right now. Some few weeks ago, last week, I think the House of Assembly was burnt down. A couple of weeks ago, we saw the problem in Dangote, company in Kogi State where individuals were also killed. But from the update that we have, 2 people have been killed and 3 injured on Sunday. The reason why news is a bit delayed in Nigeria is sometimes we want to make sure that the news is well confirmed, even though I picked up the news, but sometimes news are quite a bit delayed. These attacks happened inside a Celestial Church of Christ at Felele, Lokoja in Kogi State. Remember that early this year, we saw, just in the middle of this year, in Owo, in Ondo State, at the St. Francis Catholic Church, during the day where terrorist organization went in and killed multiple numbers of people. According to the eyewitness, who does not want to be identified for security reasons, says the gunmen were fully armed, stormed the church, started shooting continuously. It was learned that 2 people died on the spot, while the injured have now been taken to the Federal Medical Center, Lokoja. He said when they entered, they started shooting at everyone, outside the church. I went in and hid inside a cassava farm. What I saw yesterday was an action film. Kogi is no longer safe.
Wow. Now, what were their demands? Why were they there? What are they looking for?
These are terrorist organizations, in as much as the world says gunmen, but we do know that it is a terrorist attack. Especially most of those areas are close to the borderline as well. According to the police public relation officer, confirmed that incident only yesterday, and he says it was a distress call, and the division police officer B of Felele received that hoodlums invaded the Celestial Church behind the NNPC mega station and then began to shoot. 2 people were confirmed dead and the rest are taking treatment. The Commissioner of Police has deployed operatives and order the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of the investigation to commence the investigation. I'm not sure anything is going to come out of the investigation. It's just another human life that has not been valued in what is called Nigeria today. In Nigeria never happened.
We don't. And it's not in Nigeria alone. There are about 2 countries that I think are attaching so much value to human beings when it comes to Africa. Look at Rwanda. You look at Tanzania, and then I'll say the current leader in Malawi. We're beginning to see human lives being valued. Archie, apart from this security thing, if our lives are valued by our leaders, it will reflect
of course,
in the way they do things. It will reflect in the way they act. Even the policies that they put in place, you see that reflection over there. And I'm not only talking about the president, not only talking about the deputy president or whoever. It cuts across all the political class, whether it's APC, ACP, YYM, or once it is like once initiated into that clientele network politics, what goes on within their mindset, I do not know. For how long will people in Nigeria be slaughtered on a daily basis?
Yeah.
For how long? Even slaughterhouses, their days are gone break. Even slaughter, their days are gone break. Why must we have almost every single day people being slaughtered in Nigeria? Why? But someone with a huge, call it a major general, 3-star general, 5-star general. What is your use if you are supposed to defend and protect the country? Citizens from part of the country, they are the reason there is a country. So when you're a police officer or commissioner of this, commissioner of nonsense, because you are not doing anything. Lucky Dube sang a song. He said when he pays his bodyguard, he knows the value of that money, because that bodyguard is paid to basically protect. The question is, are we getting value for money from our security?
No, we pay them. They are also.
Are we getting value for money? Because actually, it's get to a point where people one day start just take guns and do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Because on a daily basis, Nigeria has become like a crime scene.
Yeah.
On a daily basis, we hear someone attack, killed. Yeah, we know incidents happen. Shooting happens. Yes, it does happen.
Yeah, but the frequency at which it does
what is happening in Nigeria is beyond that.
Yeah,
it's beyond that.
Well, Pedro says Nigeria gradually fading away. May Nigeria not happen to us in Jesus' name. Amen, my brother. And Bishop Adesina Adeyemo says investigation in Nigeria is security terms of escaping from their responsibility. The issue is thrown under the carpet. They'll say, no, there's going to be an investigation that they finish. They just come out to do those things, and that's it. And they continue to do whatever they want to do. It's very sad. It's very sad, but what do we do? Well, we have our time flying like no man's business. But quickly, let's go to Yomi. But Yomi, the leader of the Niger Delta Forum, Edwin Clark, has called on the president. This is something that just came in. Muhammadu Buhari to obey the ruling of the appeal court and release the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. Has the presidency reacted to that? Do you know?
The presidency have not responded, to the issue of Nnamdi Kanu, as we've been saying since Thursday now, that the news of Nnamdi Kanu has actually filtered out, discharged and acquitted after the rendition and kidnapping. We're still looking up to what is going to happen next. There has not filed any new charges on him. All charges have been, discharged and acquitted, but yet Nnamdi Kanu are still, being left in the DSS custody. The legal team are working, around the clock to get Nnamdi Kanu out as quickly as possible. But the question remains it seems now that the social cultural group, as you say there, I've already put their weight in as well. The issue of Nnamdi Kanu needs to be resolved, like his legal team have said, one way or the other. You can't keep him there forever. Something needs to be done, as there's more pressure in the southeast, while Nnamdi Kanu is still being held, in the DSS custody.
Well, something needs to be done. What is going to be done? You can put your comments. But let's go back to Yomi and bring us the rest of the story. It's making the rounds. 11:41, the time. Over to you, sir.
Well, let's just go straight to, as quickly as possible, because our time is well spent already. So we're just going to touch on some of the other headline. Nigerian government has now approved $2.59 billion for Badagry D seaport linked to APC presidential candidate Tinubu's nephew. Again, as a fella we say, paddy government, when you know each other. The port will be operated by private sector for 45 years, after which it will be reverted back to the government. The Nigerian government has also approved the sum of $2.59 billion for the development of the Badagry D seaport project under a private-public partnership. The project is being promoted by a company, Badagry Port Development Limited. But according to findings revealed, that the promoter of the project is owned by Adewale Tinubu and Olakunle Tinubu. Adewale is the nephew of Bola Tinubu, a former governor of Lagos State and a presidential candidate of the APC, according to the Minister of Transportation, Muhez Sambo, under the Build, Own, Operate, Transfer, Delivery system. The port will be operated by the private sector for 45 years, after which it will be reversed. Approved on August 3rd, the minister said the project will generate about $53.6 billion in revenue and will also create about 250,000 jobs, while making Nigeria a maritime hub in West Africa. So let's take more in just 1 minute, and I come back straight to the social media. Ogun Firm locks factory workers, 3 people burnt to death. A very sad news coming from Ogun State. No fewer than 3 workers of a recycling plant have reportedly lost their lives in a fire incident on the company's premises at Abule Ododo Alokpapa Lantoro in Ilaro, Ogun State, southwest of Nigeria. According to the source, the company went up in flames on Sunday when the lid of the charge machine fell, leading to an explosion. The source noted that 3 factory workers on duty were burned to death. May their soul rest in perfect peace. One more from the headline, and that would then take us to the social media as exactly 11:43 a.m. Star Radio UK. NLNG short operation over flooding gas scarcity looms. As more pressure around the world with gas, the Nigerian liquefied and natural gas company has declared force majeure because of widespread flooding that has disrupted, according to the spokesman for the company said on Monday yesterday. Force majeure is a common clause in contract which essentially frees both parties from the liability or obligation when an extraordinary event or circumstances beyond the control of the parties, such as a war, strike, riot, crime, epidemic, or sudden level change, prevent one or the other parties from fulfilling their obligation. Just as we know that force majeure has been put on Nigeria, by NINAS, saying that the 1999 Constitution and those other areas as well. When we talk about the independence of Nigeria, force majeure has been put on Nigeria. So we see how that is going to happen. Quite a lot of things are trending when it comes to Nigeria this morning. It looks like prayer is pray for assaulted. I'm not sure why people are praying for assaulted, but that is actually trending at number 3. Gumi is trending at number 4, and the reason for that is the visit of Peter Obi to Gumi is the reason why that is trending at about 60,000 tweets this morning. Also, Nigerian flood, we've talked about that, is a very, very terrible situation as we speak. It's trending at number 6, while Kaduna is trending at number 7. So let's look at the Nigerian flood, which is something of humanitarian. Rino Odwala, there is flood crisis in Nigeria, there is flood crisis in Nigeria, and that keeps going on, but it seems the world is not doing so much on that. The flood of 2022 in Nigeria may be the largest, most impactful natural disaster in living history, now affecting 33 states out of the 36. If steps are not taken, waterborne disease will spread, rising the death toll. This is a crisis and should be number 1 story. Hashtag Nigerian flood. I come straight to you in the studio.
Well, listeners, Star Radio UK. Now, that flood, I saw.
The audio is gone.
Okay, we know the drill. Let's do the drill quickly before we run up. Yes, Yomi, let's do the drill. Okay, yes, he's going to. Okay.
Archie.
Yeah, Frank.
On the issue of the port, the BOT, as they normally call it in business.
Yeah.
Build, operate, and transfer.
Yeah.
I think it's becoming a very, very common approach to executing projects under the umbrella of the broad framework PPP, which is a private public partnership.
Yeah.
I think again we've ushered ourselves into a paradigm which to a large extent in few years time will leave the future generation shortchanged. When we introduce PAMS card and structure adjustment and that drive that let's diversify, the private sector will do this, private sector will do this, private sector will do this, will create jobs, they'll bring efficiency, that led to a lot of our African industries going down the drain. Actually, because one, we even had a capacity from within the private, and therefore we gave some of these institutions to people with deep pockets who have connections, and a lot of them, they were interested in just profit, nothing more than profit.
They don't care about.
You see, when it comes to BOT, I just hope, for me, the 45 years is totally nonsense.
45 what?
45 years. It's totally nonsense.
That is too much.
The equipment over the technology would have moved on. The equipment over there would have been obsolete. So basically, you're giving a dead port, which will need a lot of investment. It's a good thing being done in terms of the number of jobs it's going to generate, the income is going to bring, the tax element that is going to bring. But I would have wished in some of these negotiations, government has joined us. Okay, I open my eyes, come and delay. Come and build. When you run this up to this and give it. No, the locals over there. For me, there must be a component for the locals.
Yeah.
And I hope the contract, apart from the BOT nature, has some share equity
for the locals
and government. Corporate social responsibility. If you're going to leave, because they are going to suffer the impact.
And that's what is happening in the southeast.
They're going to suffer the long-term devastating impact. It will bring jobs, no doubt about it. It will contribute to the growth of the economy. But I'm thinking that, look, we can do more learning from our mistakes. But if we go BOT, PPP is a new trend, and without thinking through it, it's not going to help us.
45 years, gee.
How many? Which machinery will you not change?
Wow, that's interesting. Well, maybe it depends on the income that is coming, that is generated. I mean, he's looking at it that he will not make any profit from it.
And we know the names of machine now is more the state capture.
It's Tinubu's nephew. That's what they said. So we hope. Aziz said, good morning, brother Koiki, the ambassador and the rest of the team. Good morning to you, Aziz, our American envoy. Tosino, long time no here. I hope that you are doing very well, our Russian envoy. But let's come quickly. Yomi, the floods is something that I was over the weekend. I was watching a few of the stories, and they're monitoring it, and I was like, really, something like this is happening in Nigeria, and we are not making too much noise of it. Is it? Well, we know that now there's been lots of distraction because of what is going on in Ukraine. So that
the governor that should have been doing much is in Abuja, attending wedding while his state is under the water. I mean, these are politicians that do not have human sympathy. I mean, you would expect that the governor should be the one putting the media team on the helicopter, telling the world, the needed, the need of the people. But rather, I saw him, over the weekend, waiting in Abuja. The governor doesn't live in the state. He actually flew in and out of Abuja back to the state and then flew back out.
Interesting. Things will never change in Africa until the people themselves will rise up to bring about the change. But what do you think? Continue to post your comments on our Facebook page and all our social media platforms, and I promise you one thing for sure, that I will touch on it. But Yomi, before we go, if there is any other story that you want to touch on before we leave,
I'm going to leave you to Frank and Archie to keep you going till the end of the program. We'll be back again same time tomorrow. And to the rest of everyone that have joined us on the sister platform here as well, we say good morning to you. It is actually 10 minutes before 8 p.m. In Japan, where I was actually speaking to my first caller this morning at about 6 o'clock, where they were already almost 3 p.m. It shows that the world is really, on a merry-go-round. Almost 10 minutes before 7 in Toronto, New York, and Libya is just about 10 minutes before. But for now, I leave in the hands of the Starr Radio UK, Frank and Archie. I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.
Thank you very much. Well, listeners, that is Mr. Olayomi Koiki for you. I'm bringing you updates from Nigeria. I hope that you have any you enjoyed that as well, and if you have any comments, feel free to post them. And as I said, if it's making the headlines, why not? We'll touch on it, and at times we might not know it all, and therefore if you have information pertaining to something, you bring it on, we'll clarify, and then we can put it across as well. It is Starr Radio UK. I'm going to bring you some song. It's a cover version of Fela Kuti's song. It says Kalakuta Mentality, and it's an expensive S. I wouldn't say the rest. Well, but it's a cover version of it by the Lakut Mox. Enjoy it, and I will be with you, our leaders.
is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7. On your smartphone.
Oh yeah, some instrumental piece there for you. That is Fela Kuti's cover, a cover of Fela Kuti's song Calcutta Mentality. Well, that is the brains of our people. I mean, every time our leaders, my goodness.
Calcutta is an area. so which people live? Please, if you are from Calcutta, please let's get to know the kind of mentality in Calcutta area. Is it wicked or whatever? We want to know.
It's a expensive shit. My apologies. All right. Yeah, listeners, it's Starr Radio UK. Now, 2 minutes to the top of the hour. Let me announce the lines open and then let's move on and look at some of the stories. As I announced earlier on, this afternoon, exactly at 1:30, we'll bring you BB Means Business with BB Clement. So keep your dials still locked on Starr Radio UK. Now, if you want to call in, the numbers to call are 0208-133-2257 or 58. 0208-133-2257 or 58. If you happen to be in the US, Canada, or the Caribbean area, it's 001-718-303-2737. 001-718-303-2737. You can also text or WhatsApp at 075-3966-1744. 075-3966-1744. We are streaming live on Twitter as well. Twitter, when it comes to Twitter, that is at Starr Radio UK. And you can email us. Our email address is info@starradiouk.com. info@starradiouk.com. So, now let's move on to some other stories making the rounds. I'm Archie with Mr. Frank Davis now looking at some of the stories making the rounds here in the UK and other parts of the world. But let's go to Ghana first. Now, interestingly, we did touch on it briefly. Now, the day before yesterday, that Asante made a statement.
Yeah.
Now, you remember a statement that Odike made?
Yeah.
Where he was alluding that, look, all this Galamsey thing that is going on, he thinks that what do they call them? The chiefs are involved in it. Now, the Ashanti Kingdom Authority decided to come against him. The TV station that he spoke on was shut down for some time, and we were saying that are they the regulatory body that's supposed to do so? Fine. Now, days on or weeks on, now the Ashanti come to say, look, you chiefs who in your backyard these things are going on, you are either complicit in this or you actually not do your work. You don't know what is happening around you. Now, so when you take that and you look at what is happening and the fact that we have nice clerics now, Church of Pentecost, that is my someone say my alma mater, and then they said it's Christian Council. That's what they said. They all just go there, and when we see things that are happening, you know, I tell people that I pray about things that I cannot do anything about when it's out of my control. I pray about them. But things, if I have to take this pen and write, I don't need to pray that God help my hand to take the pen to write. No, I know what I'm going to write. I know the action that I have to take. But we see glaringly the devastation that is happening, and we think we have to pray. And some statements being made here and there. Do you think we have failed?
Actually, I wouldn't say we have. I think we're confused. We're a bit confused. Actually, let me throw your mind back to 2007. You will recall that we had a bit of drought. Issue about the Volta Lake. The level of water went down drastically. And you saw the energy crisis. I remember it very well because that's when I got involved in solar business. I remember it vividly and very, very well. You will recall images came during the Christian Council. Church went on what do you call it, Odome Bridge to go and pray and all those kinds. Actually, did it solve anything?
Someone said that the rain came. When did the rain later on? It didn't solve anything. It didn't solve anything.
Did it stop energy crisis?
Nope.
It didn't stop. The practical solution at that time was that water levels were down. Our hydro, I mean, the water wasn't getting enough water, and therefore prayers was not going to do anything practically. Well, besides, they all pray in their churches anyway for the country anyway. So what is the need to go and use? And may I ask humbly, is it that when the MPP is in power, that's when prayers are only needed to solve national crisis?
You see, the hand
is out there. Is that
spiritual, not physical.
And then even it tells us that when NDC is in power, the hands of God are at work, so prayers are not needed.
I think that's all the prayers have been answered.
The change of Christian Council is beginning to take certain measures that made us want to question them. Are you getting me? Galamsey menace has been going on for years. We've seen videos that implicated people, including people at the presidency. We heard comments, messages. Even the Ashanti regional chairman of the current government is part of this. Actually, I've been saying this time. I've been mentioning what do you call it? Wuntumi's name for years. Actually, Christian Council would not address the issue, and most of those Galamsey are their church members.
Oh, okay.
Some of them are their church members.
Okay. Yeah, of course. We don't. When it comes to Ghana, I mean, when it comes to religion in Ghana, oh Jesus, everybody belongs to one or the other.
So they couldn't add. They take Bibles, lead people to go and pray. And you know what? The most annoying thing, he says, Frimpong Manson, Reverend Frimpong Manson, Bishop or whatever they call him, announce and speak to cameras at that vessel. They heard and they know political parties who want to allow Galamsey or this thing, and they will reject those political parties. That's a political statement. Allowing small mining is different from allowing Galamsey.
Yeah.
Globally, small mining is done.
Yeah.
I keep on saying the laws that we established, which were supposed to regulate small mining, they did not envisage bulldozers, diggers, chamfer machines, and all that's being deployed on our rivers.
Yeah.
And indeed, Otunfo sitting over there, did Anglo go give him the gold he's wearing? The golden stool, how was he made? It tells you
at
that
the time there wasn't. Yeah.
It tells you that our great grandfathers had been mining.
Yeah.
When they came and they called Gold Coast, were we using chamfer machine?
Nope.
It means that mining had been going on for years.
Surface mining. Yeah.
Surface mining has been going on, but the kind of mining that they were doing was not causing so much environmental degradation. So when you bring in people to use bulldozers and other things, and these bulldozers have serial numbers.
Yeah.
Ajay, my car that got stolen last year.
Yeah.
3 days ago, no, Friday, I received a letter from Nissan.
Okay.
Nissan was saying they are recalling the car.
Yeah.
Why? Because the airbag, when the airbag bursts, it has some particles that could be dangerous and injurious to life. Because I did not declare the car that has been stolen, and therefore I
to them they think that they still are around.
So a car that was how many years old? 2004, 2005 car, they still have my details.
Yeah.
Because they can trace it, the DNA of the car, the chassis number of the car is able to trace the current owner of the car. Every single mobile phone has an international mobile equipment identification number, and that is why you see a number inside your phone or behind it, IMEI. That's international international mobile equipment identification number. That is the number. Wherever you go, they know the manufacturer, they know who produced it, the year it was produced. Are we saying to ourselves, all these how many poor people can buy a
machine?
Actually, a grinder today costs about $500,000, $400,000. The least you can get, which is work for hours, over $200,000. How many of us can afford that? So there are sharks behind it. There are big equipment behind it. They sit and enjoy. The laborers are suffering. Yes, I agree for Otunfo. But you see, actually, what they call Fredua, one of the president appointees, he said part of the problem is the Christian bodies. And I agree with him.
Is that what she said?
Oh, he said, yesterday, he said, okay, they are part of the problem. Part of the problem that we have Galamsey is the Christian leaders, because they pastor themselves, put money ahead of the gospel, and therefore enticing the members with money, and people now want to show with money, and that is why people are getting into money. But you see, Archie, it is becoming sad that there's no use for Christian body. I mean, Christian consulting is outlived its usefulness. I mean, in my view, there's nothing over there. It's just another organization flirting with politics. That is what it is. It's a political arm flirting with politics, nothing more. What Otunfo said, actually, the only difference between what Otunfo said and the case, Otunfo is a chief, or the case is not a chief.
Yeah.
Because they virtually said the same thing.
Yeah.
And Otunfo also telling us that he doesn't know that some of his chiefs are involved. He said, what has he done? He says it's his land. He says he appointed them, or they came to swear that
allegiance to him that they will look over those territories. So if your territory is being destroyed, you are like the president of those people. It's like Akufo-Addo appointing a DCE. And you are in charge, the overlord of Dula. What are you also doing? Otofo himself has failed.
You are also complicit in it.
He has also failed. So although he might be pointing fingers at his sub-chief, he as a head of the chief in Ashanti region cannot be exonerated for this crime. He cannot. Unless he's telling that he cannot see. Can't he hear? If he cannot see,
he could hear.
But we saw him in public, he could see. He could hear
as well.
So what are we talking? What are we being told?
It is sad.
All these are public stunts, in my view. They are actually public stunts.
Now, last week we had the land land minister. I've forgotten the other department, natural resources, making a statement that the success or failure of the fight against Galamsey should be blamed or laid at the doorstep of the military, because they've been given all the support or authority to go to combat that. Now, how
he's speaking nonsense, totally nonsense. Archie, when the video and NAS investigation came out, Charles Bishop, for instance, was heard, receiving bribe, not even doing what's supposed to be done to authorize license from an illegal. When he was fully aware, they told him that their graders their machines were already on site working. Who appointed Charles Bishop? Okay, we also had a video, and I have an audio recording here, where someone who is known by the MPP is accusing Jubilee House as being behind it. When Kowusi audio came out with Dr. Frimpong, are we saying that we didn't hear it? When they arranged to kill a mother, Major Mahama, are they saying that it was not cooked from the powers that be? And it wasn't done by the Galamseyers because he was stationed to. Are they telling they don't know this? Let me ask the land ministry. Actually, in 2017, we were here when Peter Amewu mounted the podium to tell us that the government is outlaying $3 million towards drones. Drones that could even map at night for surveillance to help them stop the Galamsey. Actually, apart from me not liking the Galamsey, the bravery of Galamsey is something that I admire. I wish I had that bravery. Where are the drones? They are in their pocket. The drones are actually flying in.
Maybe the money wasn't allocated.
Actually, a loan was taken. Drones were. Then they should come and tell us it was not. It was not bought. Where are the drones?
Now, yesterday, I think I've forgotten which river it was. Whether Cobra, one of them, and then somebody was showing a picture of before and currently. How it is. And if you compare, I mean, you look at it and you ask yourself that are we for real? Don't we know? Can't you see that
all the rivers in Ashanti region are gone? They are now becoming dead. And you know, because of the chemicals they use in them as well, the fishes are dying.
Straight.
The fishes are dying. So actually, very soon there's catastrophe that is befalling us. Even it has started, economic catastrophe. Actually, when I used to go to farm with my granddad, when we go in, sometimes we cook at cocoa farm. You know, when we go fetch water, we fetch water from the streams, the rivers, before we go.
So you don't need to carry water from home.
We don't need to carry water. So if we want to cook, that's what we use. And in fact, in a lot of areas today where there are no, because disease and other, with a lot of water projects have gone on, and a lot of people now use a lot of pipe bomb water and other things, water from the aquifer and all those kinds. But actually, people still drink from the streams. Actually, it used to be the case that you cross a river, you fetch and get to your farm. Cocoa farmers will now use to fetch water from those streams to spray
if they want to do small irrigation, if you want to do chemical to spray everything. As we speak today.
Wow, how can they even do that?
No, they cannot do it. So people going to farm now have to buy processed water.
Oh wow, and carry them on the road.
Archie, what do you want them to drink when they go to the farms working?
Wow.
So a poor man, someone who has a farm, has to go and till the land, who is not making so much from that, now has to, as a direct result of mafias who have destroyed the stream, has to now spend more to buy water before they can go to farm. They can't even use those water now to spray their cocoa farms, and therefore some of them have to buy what they call sachet water.
Wow. How many sachet water can you buy to?
Actually, you are not getting the seriousness of these issues in Ghana. Actually, the thing is dire. Look, we're joking. Actually, we are joking. What is happening in Ghana? What is happening in those mining areas? We do it. We're going to live to regret it. All those rivers are going to go if drastic action is not taken now. And the president keep on, paying lip service, politics, lip service to this thing, because they know the people behind the Galamsey. They know the people. Yesterday, when the president went to Tunfor's place, Archie, let me ask you a question. Do you think a president or prime minister in this country will allow someone who has been accused of something to accompany them to an event?
No. When the queen even the son, is it Andrew, when they held her hand to the church, you see the bashing that they got.
What did they do? They quickly asked him to step down from the official royal rule. Yesterday, when Akufo-Addo went to the palace to see Otunfo, who was there? Untume. 4 days ago, they sent us videos that Untume's Galamsey site in the forest reserve has been burned down. Actually, it's a crime, because at the end of the day, he is not supposed to be in the forest reserve. So if he's there alone, he's committed what?
A crime.
A crime. Besides, what is the value in telling your friend, go and take all your equipment and we'll come and do a public stand, burn some of this? You think they went and burnt any of his stuff? No. These are for the camera. They call the president will be going there.
So if he's complicit in that it was, he has invaded.
It is
why did he accompany the president then?
So now, if people like Captain Smart say Akufo-Addo is directly benefit from Galamsey,
well, they've come the Minister of Information has said the government has taken up allegation by the broadcaster Captain Smart that the president is involved in the illegal mining.
Actually, again, that's another abuse of power. Because at the end of the day, actually, Captain Smart said Akufo-Addo. He didn't say the government. And we must begin to separate government from an individual. An example is where Boris Johnson was accused of using public or cronies money to renovate, what do you call it?
His apartment.
His apartment. Did you see the government coming out?
No.
Did you see government coming as a government? No, because Boris Johnson is an individual. Captain Smart has accused an individual who happens to be our president. Why should the state machinery? It tells you the psychic of our people. We think we are appointed to work for appointee. The whole machinery of government thinks that they are working for Akufo-Addo. They must work to profit and must work to. They think Ghana is a private company belonging to an individual, the chief executive or the owner who owns all the shares in that company. Therefore, they are responsible and accountable to him. And therefore, anything that they will do to preserve the name, the profit margins of that, because it's profit margin. You dent his public decent, his popularity reduced, and therefore customers will not buy by voting, by praising him again. That's the same mentality that we have. So upon Nkrumah, that statement is even issued. It's abuse of power, flagrant abuse of power, because the ministry has no business in trying to comment on issues that has to do with Akufo-Addo must have his own spokesperson. And I wish the new government will come and charge him for wasting public space and state resources. We need to start going after some of these things so that people will know that when you are appointed to serve the country, to serve the interests of the country, but not to be licking people's asses just because they've appointed you.
Wow. Listen, it's 18 minutes past 12. Or now 19 minutes. What do you think about what is happening? Do you think that maybe there's a way back? Maybe as Lestrade have been doing U-turns, maybe Ghana has got to a point where they can do a U-turn and then maybe get things taken along nicely? Well, still looking at some of the stories making the rounds in Ghana. The president says, I'm not going to be sacking my finance minister, because before the pandemic and the Russia-Ukrainian war, the assertion of the Ghanaian economy and its policies that is put across were brilliant. But for this, we would have been seeing something good. Now, was it last week? Yes, last week when there was a meeting of finance ministers in the US. I mean, and then interestingly, he sat by our own Kwesi Kwarteng, who is no more, and then so some people were saying, what brilliant ideas was this? So Kwesi Kwarteng went. He came to London, was fired. So people were thinking that the president has to be looking at what has happened and also maybe do the same, but he's still standing by him.
He went that what do you call it? Kind of what I was still trying to beg to see if Kwesi Kwarteng can push some things towards Ghana. It's about money issue. It's about money issue. Actually, the very problems that we find ourselves in start from Akufo-Addo and ends with Akufo-Addo, because he still does not understand how the market dynamics work. When you have credit rating agencies, when you do have the markets which either to buy your bonds, your paper, government paper, your sovereign guarantee is now worthless, that even common banks do not want to accept your sovereign guarantee. Or they are saying, we cannot trust you as a state to be able to honor your obligations under international law and international credit agreements. And if all of them are telling you that, look, the managers in charge of your destiny, we do not have confidence in them, they have run things aground, and you still think that they're going to help you to rise, forget it's not happening. First, Archie, Akufo-Addo is talking about 2017, and he's talking about 2017 we're under IMF conditions, but we see group. Akufo-Addo does not understand what he's talking about, completely ignorant. Archie, he should be able to point to us what were the driving forces that propelled those growth. Indeed, in 2018 that the IMF was supposed to end condition, package was supposed to end. They took a decision to extend it to 2019. Was it good or was it not bad? Actually, everything that propelled that growth were seeds that were sold by the previous government. What do you call it? Economic development or development is our policies that takes time to manifest. If anything at all, actually, the policies that Akufo-Addo put in place are now beginning, they should now beginning to bear fruit for us to see. So when Akufo-Addo came in, one district, one factory, but now we should have this Ukraine war happening. One district, one factory, we should have our own product filling the market, planting for food and job. We should have by now cut down importation of tomatoes from Burkina Faso, importation of rice, because policies that you claim are policies that are visionary and transformational, that will take Ghana far. But now we should be seeing the results. How many Ukraine bombs landed on the farm in Ghana?
they are landing in spirit. You don't see.
No, I didn't understand. So if you thought now, wow, you thought in yourself of planting for food, where are the foodstuffs? Agbelikaklo, that is like a cat ball.
Yeah,
is now 50 pesos.
Oh,
the size has reduced. I bought it when I bought it.
You don't mean it?
No, I'm telling you. A finger of plantain. I told you I bought a finger of unripe plantain for 5 Ghana cedis.
That was about six weeks ago.
Actually,
so
that is Hacho. I'm talking to you about Hacho. I asked anyone in Accra to buy coffee broke man. Coffee broke man used to be full staff that those who do not have a lot of money. It's one thing that I like so much. Coffee broke man. Actually, from a ripe plantain, when they they roast it, one is 3 cedis. So a whole ripe plantain, you're looking at a price tag of between 9 to 12 cedis from one coffee. Those are the realities. Kuli, my third favorite thing. The size of kuli, actually, when you see it, you cry.
It's rank.
Oh,
hey! Wow.
Akufo-Addo simply does not understand that confidence has been sucked out of the market, and therefore we might have to now borrow at very high exorbitant rate. It's like personal level, your credit score is gone down. They cannot give you credit, and therefore you go to loan sharks. That is the situation Ghana finds itself to a point where even loan sharks now begin to run away from us.
I think that no, even when they bring their people to you, they won't get anything to.
That is the situation we find ourselves. Yet Akufo-Addo cannot see that he and his cousin are the cause. They are those who have sacked the Akufo-Addo should tell all those money that they borrowed. Because by now, actually, when we're talking of crisis, the Bible said it. When they were told that, look, during the harvest, store for the dry season. Joseph story. When he borrowed, he was about to borrow to invest for times such as this. Where is the resource?
Well, they were eating what they were supposed to have stored. They were eating.
Where is the resource? They they actually became cankerworms.
Wow.
Instead of preservation, they like cankerworms. Heritage fund that was supposed to safeguard the future, they've almost drained it. Pension funds. Actually, as we speak now, pension funds are almost collapsing in Ghana, which means pensioners might even not have food.
Are we going to get the Bank of Ghana?
Yet Akufo-Addo tell us that actually every every indicator in 2017 can be attributed to the policies laid in 2015-2014, not Akufo-Addo's policies. He should tell us the drivers that propelled those growth. Was food planting for food part of those drivers? No. Was one district, one factory part of those drivers? No. What propelled those drivers?
So the previous government and the IMF, this is that they brought in, everything that they did that caused that to generate.
And those conditionality stop you from over borrowing. You couldn't do a lot of stuff, and therefore you were kept in check.
Your credit rating again.
You were kept in check from 2018-19 going on. They just sucked everything out of the system.
Wow.
And today he thinks we should praise him. No wonder he tells us we should be lucky we have him as president.
Well, he says that threats to vote against NPP in 2024 doesn't frighten him. And I was saying that, well, he served his tenure, so why would it bother him?
Actually,
is it because he's scared that because he was saying in another statement that people who are on trial for corruption and stuff, I mean, actually substantiate the fact that he is somebody who had promised that he was going to fight corruption, and that's what he's doing.
Which corruption fight? How many people has he put on this, and who are them? I mean, they've pointed out to you, I mean, very vivid evidence of people stealing, I mean, looting. You haven't done anything, going after your opponents to showcase that, I mean, corruption. I mean, no, actually, Akufo-Addo, Look, Akufo-Addo is right when he says that threats don't frighten him. And this one, I was telling a platform that, look, I think Akufo-Addo, for the first time, I agree with him. The voters can go to hell. Do you know why he says this?
Why?
Because the voters did not give him the mandate he's actually using.
Oh, okay. So
voters did not voted Akufo-Addo into power, and that is a fact. Akufo-Addo won election or was pronounced the victor in 2020 by rigging. The state institutions that were put in place, that's why he always keep on saying, levers of decision making process. His allegiance is not to the voters. His allegiance lies, or he has to please the courts. As we speak now, Supreme Court judges have been infected in Ghana's parliament. Those are those who matter to him. The EC, those who take decision and declare the results according to the constitution. You can go and vote. That's an exercise in future. It doesn't make anything. In futility, it doesn't make anything. The person who declared the results what matters, and he's demonstrated it. So who cares if you vote for me, doesn't vote for me? Whether you vote or not, I can be declared winner. That's what he's saying. Nothing more. You can scream as you want. You can do whatever you want. I'm in power. When the EC declared I'm the winner, you can go to court and the court will take you to Blackshore. No, Blackshore dictionary. So why do I worry myself?
Well, listen at this time, Radio UK. Well, I tell you the problem of Africa. The local man says. But it is now gone 12:30. Like I said earlier on, if you want to join in the conversation, feel free to do so. You can call us on 0208-133-2257 or 580208-133-2257 or 58. And those of you in the US, Canada, Caribbean area is 0017183032737 0017183032737. You can text or WhatsApp at 0753966144 0753966144. Our Twitter handle is at Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. Yes, continue with us. Let's take a quick break and we come back and we continue with the program. We'll be looking at some of the other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world, namely other countries in Africa, and then we come to the UK. Stay tuned.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Welcome back to the program, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's now exactly 12:33. That's got about 27 minutes to bring the program to a close. But like I announced earlier on, this afternoon exactly at 1:30, BB Clement will be coming away with BB Means Business. So make a date with her Okay, yes, anything pertaining to your business, how to go about it, the advice, the tidbits, yeah, she's got it all for you. So make sure your dials are still logged on Starr Radio UK. Now with me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davis, I'm Archie, and we continue with some of the stories making the rounds this afternoon. And this round, Uganda's president's son has been banned from Twitter following controversial tweets. And what is that controversial tweets? Uganda President Yoweri Museveni said Monday, October 17, that his son will no longer tweet about the country's affairs after a series of controversial tweets in early October in which he threatened to invade Kenya. The unfriendly words of General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the 48-year-old elder son of the head of state, had offended the Kenyan neighbor. He had suggested that it will take him and his army not 2 weeks to take over the Kenyan capital, Nairobi. He's going to leave Twitter. We have had this discussion. Twitter is not a problem. The problem is what you tweet, said the man who has ruled Uganda since 1986 in an interview with a local Ugandan TV. Now, talking about other countries and Ugandan politics is something you should not do and will not do, Museveni added. Now, if it was some other individual in the security help, they would have brought the person to justice, like now. But because he's the president's son, he said, "Oh, you'll not be on Twitter again." But this is going to bring about there's a standoff between Kenya and Uganda. We having problem with Ethiopia already. We don't want some more.
Yeah, actually, my problem over there is very has to do with the future of Uganda and Kenya. Because from all intents and purposes, this man is being set out to take over, possibly from the dad.
Yeah.
Now, if this is his mindset, what happens in case he takes over? That for me is my worry. From the very first day that this tweet came out, that's my worry. He's noted as someone who strongly supports Russia. On a lot of this, support Russia alone, prepare that he's giving his army might even go and help Russia and all this kind of.
Really?
So he, are you getting me? But you see, actually, I must commend my grandfather. A lot of us will not come out publicly to basically comment and condemn what our sons, our children have done. At best, we will just say, okay, all right, it's over, don't worry. But here's the case: Museveni is taking the issue head on. He has officially apologized to Kenya.
Yeah.
The government has officially apologized to Kenya. He has publicly condemned the son from such action. I think they even took him off one of the posts that he had.
Okay.
For me, that is why a lot of elderly Kenyans and a lot of people like, because it gets to a point frank talk become the order of the day, and this is what, assuming this were Akufo-Addo, what will he say?
Oh, nothing. He didn't say.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
See nothing, say nothing, sorted. That is all. You know, Transport for Land will tell you, see something, say something, sorted.
Yeah.
Akufo-Addo say, see nothing, say nothing, sorted. I commend Museveni for that.
Well, like you were saying, I mean, after Museveni, what next? If he becomes the next president of Uganda, I bet you William Ruto being there. Ruto is a young person. Kenyatta is gone. Ruto, this is his first tenure. So let's say another 4 years for him, and then by that time your grandfather, he will be pensioned. He will be gone.
Oh, no, he's already on pension. Unless you want extra pension.
No, you know, he's an African man. He's taking extra pension.
Yeah.
So we're going to see Ruto there, because Ruto is well and very strong, and he's got the support of the youth in that country as well. So if he's, I'm looking at a near future, some clash is going to be going on between Kenya and Uganda. No, his father has apologized.
The question is, why would they be fighting over? Not the first question.
Yeah.
What would they be fighting over? I don't see a conflict pretty shortly. Again, some of these people must be measured in their utterances. That's the truth. He might not like the current president probably because he hasn't, been a traditional, man or the system produced.
Yeah.
But don't forget, he was a vice president.
Yeah.
And therefore must also have a bit of strings that he has been pulling along. Who will take over? We have evidence from what happened with Angola. What happened in Angola? We've also seen it in Zimbabwe, where we're preparing successors, and nature invariably will have its own case or its own cause, and then the person who took over at Angola, he made promises. I'll
protect you before, and then did a U-turn.
He did a U-turn. So they're kind of example that we can look onto, and hopefully we should have more people doing same.
Yeah. Okay, listen to Starr Radio UK. Abiola Bakari, thumbs up to you too, and thank you very much for joining us. Those of you on the social media platforms, the various platforms listening to us, you know what? You can download our apps if you go to your app store, whether it's iOS or Android. Look for Starr Radio Global. Just download it. It is for free, and it's more interactive there as well. So you can do so. Now let's move on straight to other parts of the world where some of the stories are making the rounds. Yeah, President Zelensky says 30% of Ukraine power stations have been destroyed in the past days as Russia steps up infrastructure attacks. Well, Russia said they've got a new military high command, whether his name is Armageddon. Is Armageddon or what? He's got some wild name. And we see the attack that is going on in Ukraine now. Indiscriminatory. Just anywhere using drones and using missiles to be doing that. I'm getting to a point where I think that if the West really think that they are a force to be reckoned with, they need to rise up and stop this.
Actually, the West are already fighting. The only thing that they are not sending their ground troops over there. But a lot of Americans and British are within the Ukraine.
Yeah,
they are training them. Some of those machines have been, what they call it, produced over there. You see, Russia stepping up attack is a necessity. I tell you why. Within the last month, we've heard the West especially making pronouncements, and even Zelensky himself making pronouncements that says that we are now having an upper hand on the battlefield.
Yeah.
And therefore, when it comes to peace negotiations, we are not ready unless it's on our terms. That is what has been their position over the last month.
Yeah.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Now attacks are being stepped up. Will you now accept that we talk?
Because you are being killed now. That's a tendency that you
actually,
yeah.
Russia needs to up its game to a point where they are all to a point where they can now begin to talk. 2 weeks ago, Elon Musk proposed a suggestion.
Yeah.
That he has personally spoken to Vladimir Putin, and he believes that there's a path to peace. And instead of people being killed indiscriminately, can we come to these terms? The whole Western world, the whole Ukraine were on his neck.
But because he was saying that they should, those areas that they've captured, they should be ceded to them, and he says no.
Archie, that place didn't belong to Ukraine in the first place.
It's part of Ukraine.
When did it start becoming Ukraine?
After the USSR broke down, it was Ukraine.
So we break that doesn't mean we can fix it.
By forced marriage.
By forced marriage. Are the people, whether we like it or not, the people undertook a referendum. It must not be to our standard for us to know it is right. I do not support what Russia is doing, but I do believe that as Westerners we are being too hypocritical.
Okay.
When we conducted a referendum, when we went to Libya, to do all kind of things. Election was conducted in Libya, putting someone that the people did not want in as what? Western UN-backed leader. That one, we applauded it. We did that.
Yeah.
The environment and the conditions under which elections, the first election after the toppling of Gaddafi went, who will call that an election? But we hold it. That yes, an election has taken place. I do not think Russia should be annexing even an inch of what today. But if the people say they want to join Russia because they are suffering what we call genocide that has been silenced on, then what do we have to say? When Elon Musk proposed that idea, what did they say? They went on him. Last week, he took his paper and his secretary, he wrote to White House. The military said, look, our company has been funding the satellite communication, this and that has aided the war. Today, we don't think we can sustain it within the next 2 months. We'll pull the plug. Come out with over $100 million if you still want the services to go on. He's also playing his game.
Everybody you have the upper hand.
Everybody, this is like a chess that is being played.
Oh goodness!
You know, you see, Europeans are very good with chess.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Russians, my goodness.
This is a chess game, mate. That's what is being played. Every single drop of blood is regretted. I never can stand war, and I pray that these people will see sense and come to some sort of understanding that look, where is this leading us? We have reports that when Zelensky was ready to sign a peace deal, after Russia has pulled out of Kiev, and all those neighboring nations, a peace deal was on the table, and that's why they pulled out.
I see.
A peace deal was on the table. That's why they pulled out. Was that not the time Boris Johnson flew to this end? Boris Johnson and the West said no. They will not accept the peace deal. It was an opportunity to get rid of Putin and destroy Russia. So this is not a Ukraine-Russia. Listen, Ukraine is being used as a proxy to fight
the East and the West.
They told us our energy bills are going to go up, but they are able to cough out any amount of money and apply. So where is it coming from?
Interesting.
Where is it coming from? Where is it coming from?
Like hard times, where the people are in the country are hungry, and you say you are giving our money to people to fight.
We are giving more bullets for people to kill, to be killed, endless. They say whatever it takes. Today as we speak, the number of LNG ships that are along the coast of Spain, so trying to enter and just space just to discharge gas, some people have to wait more hours on the sea.
I see.
Where are they coming from?
From the US, of course.
Are you surprised the dollar is now becoming stronger against it?
Trying to wrestle the pound down, you know.
That is it. That's a master's game that has been played.
Wow.
To God and country.
Well, when 2 elephants fight, this time around 3 elephants fight. Who suffers?
The bullet. I'll go for those pockets. I'll go for those pockets.
Wow. Let's start with the UK. A quick one. Now, former British military pilots are being lured to China with large sums of money to pass on their expertise to the Chinese military, it is claimed. Up to 30 former UK military pilots are thought to have gone to train members of China's People's Liberation Army. The UK is issuing an intelligence alert to warn former military pilots against working for the Chinese military. Espionage. Would you call that? Is it what is? Because if the Chinese don't have that expertise and then they have those people.
It's not espionage, but before I go, let me add another story. Scientists at top US nuclear lab poached by China to develop hypersonic missiles technology. More than 160 Chinese scientists who work at Los Alamos returned home, including one given grants worth $20 million by the US for research.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tony.
Home sweet. Home sweet home.
Oh my goodness.
They're gone. Once you can't take away from them.
Yeah. The knowledge that they've acquired, you can't take that one away from them.
So they're going to develop, and then the pilot will help fly.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
There's no law that bars them from doing that. They've not violated any law. There are people who swore allegiance to to the country, but they do not say they are not allowed to work, or they cannot be allowed to work for any other person. If it is bread and butter issue, besides, they don't have classified information today. Right? They don't have any classified information. They might have some sensitive knowledge, and there's about. I don't see anything wrong. Look, you can call them and increase their pension, ask them national interest first. That is fine. But so far, those over there, I do not think they've done anything wrong. They don't deserve any punishment. I don't think we should be worried about it. China is doing what it ought to do. Yeah.
That is dangerous, man.
Why dangerous?
That is dangerous.
Why can't you trust them? Do you trust the British?
You can't trust Russia. You can't trust.
Do you trust British?
It's like a day and rain and sunshine.
Do you trust British?
No.
Okay. You can't have to use their weather.
Oh God.
Everything that is happening, the Russians are doing it in their what they call the national interest. What do you call it? China is pursuing a national interest. Whatever UK is doing in strategic national interest. French is doing strategic national interest. And what do you call it? US is doing the same thing. I'll tell you one thing. A few days ago, there was this the current leader of is it Mali or Burkina Faso, the last coup.
Burkina Faso, the one they just overthrew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has cancelled some serious and serious agreements that existed between the French and Burkina Faso. Now, one agreement, the automatic confiscation of our national financial reserves is gone. So there was a clause when they were there, all national reserves that belong to this thing
has to come to,
they'll be lodged in French bank. That has been cancelled. Cancel the right of preference over any raw or natural resources discovered in the country. So gold, any natural resources,
French first.
It's a French first policy. Okay? French first. Priority to French interest and companies in public contracts and public tenders cancelled. So you cannot give a tender, you cannot give a public project to any other country or a national of any other country unless the French do not, they don't want it. Yeah. Exclusive right to provide military equipment and train military officers of the colonies. They use their reserves to pay all this, The right for French to send troops and intervene militarily in the country to defend its interests. So it's like you are now a colony. We can station our military bases, whatever the interest. If we want to attack Ghana today, and within the strategic location that we can attack Ghana is the borderline with Ghana, you cannot say no. That has been cancelled. The obligation to send French an annual checkup and a report on the status of its reserve.
Wow. Then they
again has been cancelled. They also renounce all military alliance with other countries except France permission. So you cannot have military alliance with any other country apart from the French, or the French must first approve.
Wow.
Now the obligation to ally with French in case of world war or crisis is cancelled. Archie, let me jog your mind back. I'll take you back to last week. Geopolitics is a very, very complex business, and sometimes you need to be able to pick from here and then and go behind what you read.
To actually see what is going on.
Last week, Akufo-Addo was appointed something Guinea ambassador.
Okay.
By the French.
Ah.
All right.
Yeah.
Something Guinea. I forgot the exact title. As an ambassador, what do ambassadors do? Ambassadors do
to broker peace and serve the interests of their home country or whoever.
Okay. Was it not French that he was awarded honorary doctorate?
Yeah.
You see, we are like puppets. They play us left and right. The French can see that where French West Africa is going, they are losing grip over French West Africa. The only man standing strongly with them is Nyesigbe Yadema.
Yeah.
Because of the way they protect him over years.
Yeah.
Akufo-Addo is close to Nyesigbe Yadema.
Oh, so okay.
And this is serious geopolitics that is being played. Can we use Akufo-Addo as a weapon against to try and start negotiation and bring her? That's every his trip to French. That was the beginning and the genesis of it.
Wow. And I was saying that French, or I mean, what? Because he speaks French?
That's the genesis of it, Archie. That's the bottom line. Take it or leave it. That is it. The French can see that their economy will soon be on its things.
Yeah.
They cannot see that the French West Africa are now beginning to ally themselves with Russia.
Yeah. Mali sacked them.
And now we have Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
And part of the problem that happened, in Burkina Faso, the military over there was accused. We agreed that we will not do this, but you've turned your back and aligning with the French. That was one allegation. You're now beginning to see the picture.
Wow.
What is French doing? National interest. Why do we accuse Russia, Iran, other countries when they are seeking national interest? It's only we Africans who will not pursue national interest, but will pursue the interest of colonial. And what Akufo-Addo was about doing is the perfect fit for what the dad did. When they were coming to Queen Elizabeth, working against our independence. Because if we were to go by what that group of people did, probably we still not have independence. The wave of independent, what they call win that blue of Africa would have happened if we have listened. The people have listened to them. That's the same thing that is happening now. They repeat our father's legacy.
Wow, that's an in-depth analysis. Thank you. That's why I tell you that when you listen to Starr Radio UK, we always bring you or inform you the best way possible and break everything down for you. You have any comments, feel free to do so. We just got 4 minutes to just run up the program. Liz Truss. Do you see Truss there? Or do you think it's time for her to go? Because it looks so shaky. Yesterday, what happened in the House of Parliament was, when the leader of Parliament, what's her name? I've forgotten the name.
It's not Lacey.
No, not the speaker. No, not the speaker. The leader, the conservative leader of Parliament. Morgan, the lady. Yeah, she was there trying to represent the Prime Minister and making a statement, and then the opposition leader Keir Starmer says, "Where is the Prime Minister? She needs to be here to be answering questions about the U-turns and everything that she's done." Then later on, we saw the Prime Minister walking in, coming to sit down. Guys, so you see that she's lost that authority that was, invoked upon her. So I don't know. What do you think?
She's gone. But you see, there are a lot of issues that are happening. Yesterday, he met the leader of the 1922
committee.
The group that decides whether a leadership contest
should take place.
And unprecedentedly, the kind of public reactions and the calls that we've had from the Conservative Party itself calling for that she must go is unprecedented. In fact, Boris Johnson, David Cameron, none of them, Theresa May,
not like that.
That level of public humiliation was not there before we saw. Now, if you're a leader and say, I stand by this bottle. That is where I am holding, and I keep and I stand to it. Organize a press conference, and something happened. You say, it's okay, now this bottle does not, and someone come and give me Pepsi and say, I'll go Pepsi without we see. You don't even believe. She does not believe in what Hunt is doing.
Yeah.
But you see, Archie, this is the interesting bit. The Conservative Party cannot go for leadership contest again at this time. It cannot.
Yeah.
It should not happen. They're not going to do it. Go for leadership. There are two things that could happen. There's a committee that is above the 1922 committee, where elders, we call them elders, Abu Shapinis, of the Conservative Party, can come. It's an ancient tradition. They can come and invoke that we want a caretaker prime minister. Leadership contest will not take place, but they will tell you, step aside. You do not have the support
of
the party. You cannot get anything through. It's either you go and they can vote you out through parliament. We do not want that disgrace and embarrassment, because if you table business and there's no vote of confidence, there's a vote of no confidence in you, you are gonna. We do not want that. So step aside and let someone come, or be a flag star driver, a poster girl,
and then
but you are the prime minister, will run things, will bring in a team, and that's exactly what is happening. Jeremy Hunt is a choice of the party. It's not her choice.
Okay.
She never appointed Jeremy Hunt.
God was like Jeremy Hunt during her campaign. There wasn't.
She never appointed Jeremy Hunt. The party came out with an acceptable, cool-headed candidate. Go in there, stabilize staff. And yesterday, the meeting they had was along those lines. She's going to stay on, but a lame duck. She will be signing the lame duck. She can't do nothing. She can't. The power is gone.
I was sad when I saw her sitting down. I was looking at her face. I thought,
she is a dead pork.
I think I need to be a prophet. You know, I said that day. I said you. Like, I won't say the rest of the thing that I said. My wife is here. I'll say behind the scenes that it seems to be that's what happened. And they're saying that if they should call for an election today, Conservatives will have about only 44 seats.
Okay, there's another thing that is happening that can happen in Parliament. The politicians over there will now have to make a decision. There can be political prostitution.
Okay.
Which can take place.
Okay.
Most of the young politicians who have voted for first time. If they decide to keep their jobs and say, okay, fine, we can trigger an election, but we'll switch camps. And go to Labour. That way we can hold on to our seats.
And then along the line,
if Labour agrees that they will put us forward as their candidates, we'll switch camps, go to Labour, help Kestema take over. That is another nuclear strategy that can come in. Vote of no confidence can be triggered by them. The only reason they're not going to do that is that they know if they go to post today, most of them will be
washed off.
So how do you then get, and that's where political strategies must come in. What is Labour offering if they really want power? Is Labour going to say, look, we've had a disaster, most of you couldn't have done anything to prevent it, but your continuous support with for the government will mean that you are direct accomplice for which we will take direct action to campaign against you to make sure whatever happens you are voted out, because you have been participant of the failed government.
You
either make a decision to come with us, join hands for us to take over this country. Hard with that, we guarantee will not fix candidate, will not put, but you stand either as independent candidate, as Labour candidate. let's trigger a vote of no confidence. Vote for him, can guarantee that we will not do this, will not fail candidate against you. Should be gone within hours.
Some people are calling for Bojo to come back, but Bojo is going to the US. I mean, it's going to be
why should Bojo come and do? Do we want
the thing that is a unifier, so it will bring them together. But the problem that we have is not
he unify his party, and they call for him to go. He couldn't unify. If he was that much of unify, he was behind Theresa May's sacking.
Yeah,
he was behind King James.
Rees-Mogg, Jacob.
He doesn't speak like Jacob in the Bible show.
Proper King James.
This man should be Jacob in the Bible. Why is King James? Actually, they need to bring us. I think they're going to put behind the scene. That's going to be the most the most viable option they do have now. They're going to form a working committee.
Who's working behind.
Yeah, I think that is what you. Yeah, because if you look at what Hunt has done, the announcement. I've seen a bit of confidence
in the market,
the market, and that's what Akufo-Addo does not understand. That government actions matters. That bullets might even be landing in your bedroom. The decisions you take as a leader can make or unmake. That's what he doesn't understand. You know.
Wow, listeners, 4 minutes past the top of the hour. We're bringing the program to a close. Frank, before we go,
on that note, Agbeleka close too expensive.
Wow. Listeners, let's say thank you very much for that wonderful program today. I hope that you've enjoyed it. But remember, tomorrow we'll be coming your way with another edition of the morning show. However, remember, exactly in the next 25 minutes, we'll be bringing you BB Means Business by BB Clement. On that note, enjoy the song from the Zongo Man. Have I got it? Yes. He thinks that the problem of Africa is the greed who run things. Enjoy it and see you all later. Bye-bye for now. I am Archie and Mr. Frank Davis and Olayomi Koike say have a top of the day. Bye.
The problem of Africa is the lead. Africa. Who run things, who run things, who run things. The problem of Africa is the lead. Africa. Who run things, who run things, who run things. Them all go to university.